FLOSSTUBE. Welcome to my channel, Stitching in South Jersey. My name is Debbie, and today is Friday, January 2nd, 2026. 2026. This is my 2025 year-end WIP parade. I realize it's not year-end anymore, it's year beginning. Best I could do. This is, if you could see what I'm surrounded by right now, you'd be like, no, you're probably not really in a good space to do this, but we are going to give it a try. So welcome back to all my subscribers, those of you who like my videos, who comment. I greatly appreciate it. When I started this in 2024, at the end of 2024. I filmed it in September, but didn't have the nerve to upload it until October. And I started with a WIP parade, and it was overwhelming, and I wasn't sure I was ever going to do another one, but here we are. Probably 14 videos plus some FLOSSTUBE extras thrown in, and I am thrilled to be able to do my second WIP parade. So because WIP parade's drawn some new people, I will do a 45-second recap on me. I am married. I have 3 children. I have 1 grandson and 1 granddaughter on the way. She's due in April. It does not appear that my daughter-in-law is going to get to April. So for you prayer warriors, would greatly appreciate some. But fingers crossed that all is going well. All will continue to go well. And I'm a real estate agent, and I live in New Jersey, in South Jersey, as my channel title would allude to. I actually live about 15 minutes outside of Philadelphia, and so South Jersey, not the Jersey Shore, not North Jersey, not New York. We are about 45 minutes south, probably about 35 minutes south of our state capital, which is Trenton, and we are in the Philadelphia suburbs on the Jersey side, and we are Philadelphia sports fans, so Eagles, Phillies, that's all I really care about. But we have the Flyers and we have the Sixers. And we probably have a soccer team. And probably other things that I know nothing about. I'm not really a sports person. But just giving you geographically where we are. So today is going to be a WIP parade. And if I can get it the way I want it, I will edit in photos of where this project was in September of last year. So it's technically a little more than a year. I'll give you some brief stats. Everything is out of the bags. I don't waste time opening bags, putting things back. It's going to be chaos and pandemonium after this, but it'll be okay. We'll figure it out. So, of course, now that I started, my phone is ringing. My processor is calling me about a deal. I'll call her back. So I want to start with some stats. And like I said, if I can, I will edit in a picture, probably there. But I'm not going to do that every time. I'll just do it. And hopefully by the time you see it, as I'm talking about the project, the last year's photo will appear up there. We'll see how that goes. So for 2025, when I did that WIP parade, I had 36 WIPs. Coming into 2026, I have 43, including 4 new starts, but I had 3 finishes. I finished Sweater Weather with Plum Street. And I finished that in April. I finished 99, as you all know. My husband is Joey Forget About It, because he does believe he is a South Philly Italian mob boss, so I've named him accordingly. And I made him, he is in the beer business, and I made him 99 by ink circles, so that was a finish. I did have it framed and gave it to him on Christmas. If you want to see what it looks like, go back to, I think, 2 videos ago. No, probably last video I showed it. My last update, I showed that finish, framed and everything. And he opened it on Christmas morning, and he loved it. It is currently sitting under the Christmas tree while he decides where he wants it, whether he wants to leave it here or at work. And I finished the snow globe, the Shannon Christine, she has the snow globes, and there's 5 of them. Well, I finished the sleigh snow globe, and I think I finished that at the beginning of the year, maybe like February. I did not frame it yet because I think I'm going to put another snow globe. I think there are 5 in all, and I'm going to put another one on that piece of fabric. And then, of course, I finished other things. Like I finished Sweet Summertime, which is out of the August 2023 Just Cross Stitch magazine. So I worked on that, and you know, towards the end of the year, I worked hard on 99, which is 99 bottles of beer on the wall, by ink circles. So the other stitching, you'll see some that have a good number of days, and you'll see some where I was kind of taking a pass, you know, putting in a couple stitches, but so that I could say that I touched it this year, but not devoting a lot of time because I had other priorities. So now this year, I don't know if I told you this yet. I think I did. 43 WIPs is what I'm going to be showing you. 4 of them are new starts. So even if I manage to figure out how to insert pictures from last year, there will be 4 with no pictures, and I will tell you that. So why don't we get started, because my back already hurts, because I'm standing so that I have some maneuverability, and because I have piles all around me. You're going to see me like disappear off camera for a minute. If I can edit that part out, I will. If not, you can enjoy the wall and a treasured time right there. I did that years ago while I switch piles. I'm doing these in alphabetical-ish order. They may not be exactly alphabetical, but they're alphabetical-ish. Only because I keep a project spreadsheet, and that is where I keep all the information, and it was just easier for me while I was compiling the stats to keep them alphabetical, but the piles have since fallen once or twice, so, you know, the S's are probably with the S's, but they may not, you know. For all of you teachers out there, don't hold me to exactly alphabetical. So, all right, let's get started. This is a mid-Amish life, and this, I did this on 18 count Celestine by Fiber on a Whim, and I started it on March 11th, 2024. This year, it got 8 days in total. It's a triptych. It was out of a magazine. I hate to waste time doing this, but I suppose... Oh, no, this came out of... it wasn't a magazine. That's not where I got it. I got it 101 Best Loved Cross-Stitch Patterns, Better Homes and Gardens. And there's 3 of them, but I'm still working on the first one. And I love this. And Brian Blitzstitch... he did his all as one, and I was fascinated by it. It's not that easy because, like, even he said, you know, you got to watch out where they match up and all the things, and he switched to diagonals. I don't do diagonals. Anyway, here is where I've gotten to. I think the last time I worked on it, I did a roof. I think I did this roof. No, I think I did this roof. I love this Fiber on a Whim. It's pretty close. There is a sliding door directly in front of me, and of course it was nice and cloudy all day, just enough light, and now the sun is coming out. So, had I known, I would have put more makeup on. So that's a mid-Amish life. 8 days this year, love that. Next is a summer ball by Cross Stitch Arts. And if you've been with me, you know that when I get to these dresses, I'm pretty much changing them all. I know this isn't a great picture, but I do suspect these dresses are kind of a lighter color than maybe I want them. I did have a viewer who told me that that was the style then. They didn't do the big, bold colors. In my Victorian world, we do big, bold colors. And this is all I've gotten to. Oh, let me tell you. 20 count ivory Zweigart Ada. I got 5 days this year on this. And the last time I worked on it, which wasn't that long ago, I did like make some progress in here. At this point, it's almost better stitching it vertically rather than going across, because this is a wall, as you can see, and a mantle. I really do like it though. And I started this November 12th, 2024. Did I say that? I think I said it. Sorry, I'll try and pull my act together. Next one, Autumn in the Village by Stony Creek. I have all 4 of these. I have Spring in the Village, Summer in the Village, Winter, and this is Autumn. And this is on 14 count ivory Zweigart. I started this May of 2019, and if you've been with me, you know, I almost quit this one. I really did. And the reason for that, let me get it out of this thing. The reason for that is because I would have picked a different fabric had I really been aware at that time of all of the fabric choices out there. And I no longer really stitch on 14 count unless it's something that really specifically should have 14 count. But here we are, and I am just about done. This is the last house, and then it has a lamppost and a tree, and then there's writing in the bottom. I just have to finish all that, and the leaves, of course, on the other end. And then it is a boatload of back stitching. I've been working on this a lot of days in December, 14 days in December, and I took this off of my lap stand to show you. Oh boy, it kind of looks nice without the back stitching, but we must. So here I am, last house. Pretty good for something I literally almost UFO'd and said, I'll just start it again. And I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to make smarter choices with my fabrics for the other ones, and you know, call it lesson learned. And next month, my regular floss tube, I will do a December, January stitching recap as well as haul. But this is just a WIP parade right now because there's enough. Okay, next is Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. Sorry for the glare. You've all seen this one. I did this on 18 count Antique Green Devosa by Zweigart. Started at 10/21 of 2022 and got 10 days this year, which you would not know if you were looking at it. And again, on this, I was all roof when I worked on these. It's a lot of stitching. Devosa, not a fan. If you pull too tight, if you have a tension that is too tight when you're pulling, you will pull the fiber to the side, and then you won't end up with a diagonal. You'll end up with this. So you have to be very careful, which forces me to go slow, which I don't love. So I personally will not use Devosa again, but, you know, for now. Okay, moving on. Next up, Birdsong Garden by Marty Bell. Marty Bell's used to be the bomb back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm doing this on 18 count Ariel by Picture This Plus. I started it July 17th, 2023, and it got 8 days. Hang on, I have to see which way is up. And I did get a page finished this year, which you can clearly see. And it's fun. It's got a lot of beautiful colors in it. It's really fun, and that's the thing with the Marty Bells. They tend to be very colorful. Okay, moving on. Black Cat by Candlelight from Artisy, adapted from artwork by Image World. I'm stitching it on 18 count ivory Aida, and I started it May 1st, 2020, and I got 2 days on it this year. So this is in Pattern Keeper. This is in Pattern Keeper. The problem is, as some of you may have heard this story, I was using a really cheap tablet. I've since bought myself a nice Samsung. To export the progress from the old garbage tablet to the nicer Samsung, I'm having a problem because the garbage tablet won't stay charged and won't hold a charge. So the minute I try and do anything and exporting the progress, not just putting the chart in, but like all the progress is not working because the tablet just doesn't want to cooperate, the old one. So I may actually need, the next time this comes up on my Tiny Decisions wheel, and if you're new, that's how I pick my projects, spin the wheel. I'm a rule follower. If it comes up on the wheel, I'm doing it. So I think I may just have to do like, so this is a complete page, so that's easy. But then I'm going to have to go through and just put in the symbols. It's just what I'm going to have to do. And I don't want to do that. But I don't think this old tablet that I was using is going to cooperate. And I wasted hours upon hours thinking it was me, thinking I was doing something wrong. And here all along, it really was the tablet. So, yeah, unfortunately. So I'm also, I didn't even know whether to throw this in. Everybody was getting a bookmark this year. Did not work out. So I started this bookmark. I love it. I have no idea. There is no name associated with it, but I know I bought a series of bookmarks, and I've gotten really nowhere. I started this on the plane on the way to Vegas. It doesn't thrill me, but maybe I'll get it done. I'll at least have a bookmark for me. Oh, and while I'm thinking of it, let me just say this because I will not remember it later. Jingle Ball classes. I took the Jingle Ball Snow Globe class by Hello from Liz Matthews. I would really like to show you that finish when I'm done. I meant to bring it over here because you won't see it next month in my regular floss tube because it's Christmas and it will be packed away with the Christmas things. So I'm going to show you, but I love it, and I'm going to do 1,000 more of them. It was user-friendly. If I can finish it, anybody can finish it. Okay, moving on. Clocks. I call clocks. It's called Turn Back Time, out of a magazine. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't have the rest of the folder with me. 16 count Sage Summer Khaki. I started it January 22nd of 2020. And I got 3 days on it this year. But here's what it will look like. Honestly, this is the best picture that there is. And they turned it into a pillow. I will turn it into a wall hanging. And I'm almost there, right? Because here's where I am. You could see I changed some colors. And freaky thing about this, the red in this that's up against the gold is the same red that is in this. Is that not weird? Right? Look at what a difference it makes. But it is the same red. And it didn't necessarily, I don't think, oh, it is red in this, but it's white inside. And I decided to do all gold. So, just changing it up because, you know, you can't have all white and black and, you know, whatever. So, I just went out on a limb and then I was like, wait, that's not actually even the same color red. It, in fact, is the same color red. It was the only red that I had, and I think it's 666. Let me see. It says 606. Is that a red? I don't know. DMC. Anyway, so let's move on. That was clocks. Okay. Mini Christmas Bells by Artisy, adapted from artwork. Oh, it says cross-stitch design by Tarina Clark. It doesn't really say who. This was a freebie on Artisy's site. It's on 18 count Picture This Plus Legacy. I started it February 2nd, 2023, and I got 7 days. Here's what it's going to look like when it's done. Here's what it looks like right now. This is fun. A lot of confetti, but really fun. And honestly, is that not a beautiful freebie? It's a freebie. So that was wonderful. Okay. Next is Dimensions Gold Collection Cabin View. Oh boy, is this one old. I don't know when I started it. It's all kit. I probably bought this when my kids were young and we were going on tropical vacations. And I needed something small to bring to do on the beach. Sorry, I have something stuck. So sorry. This got 8 days this year, and we're almost there. Sorry again. Look at that. All I have left is right in here, and then of course the back stitching, because it's dimensions. But it's beautiful and it was fun, but it is old. It is old. Okay. Next, Cove Haven Inn, Dimensions Gold Collection. Sorry for the glare. As you could see my sliding door because the sun is full out now. Sun hasn't been out in, feels like 2 months, but now it's out. This is all the kit. Used everything kit. Don't know when I started it. I had it for years before I started. I probably started it within the last couple of years. This got 5 days this year. You gotta love it, dimensions, right? And all this blank spin. Before I say that out loud, yes, all this like white space in here is negative space. There is no stitching to go in there. So I got all the way to this end. So that is as wide as it is going to be. So I love this one. Honestly, I love anything dimensions, but that one I have the lovely Victorian house, which is kind of the companion piece. Sorry, I'm wrestling with the next bunch. Cozy Cove, another Dimensions Gold. So many floss tubers have done this one. Very easy to get. Not one of the harder ones. Artwork by Charles Wysocki. And here is where I've gotten to. Oh, I didn't tell you how many days. 7 days on this one. Needless to say, I didn't iron anything. If I ironed it, then I really need a new iron, don't I? But I did not iron anything. I am almost to the end of that second down here. I don't think I'm to the end. No, because there's a tree over here. Oh boy, hopefully that tree isn't as big as it seems like it could be, because I'm running out of road here. So it probably like fills in this space a little, but I also like this, and it will have months worth of back stitching as well. I'm going to spend, probably not this year, but maybe next year, I'm going to do nothing but back stitch. That's how it feels. Next is signing of the Declaration of Independence. As I told you, I live Very, very close to Independence Hall and the Liberty Bell. And this is a terrible picture, but I just printed it in black and white because it's all a PDF. And this is also in Pattern Keeper, which is also going to be a real problem soon. I did get a page 2 finish on this. It's on 18 Count Heartland by Picture This Plus. I started it April 16th of 2021, and I have 7 days on it. And there's my page finish. Oh no, this will be easy, right? Because I have 2 pages finished. So I'll just import the project into Pattern on my new tablet and just complete that, have those 2 pages be complete. Oh, that makes me feel so much better already. I don't have that many in Pattern Keeper because a lot of my patterns are paper patterns. So, we all know that that doesn't work out so good for Pattern Keeper. I'm hoping in my lifetime Pattern Keeper or some program comes out. I know there's Markup, RXP. I know there's a lot of different things, but I feel like Pattern Keeper could just do a little tweaking and first of all make it available on not just Android devices, you know, that you could scan in your own, if you have paper patterns. I get it. It's probably a copyright thing. It's got to be something like that, right? Okay. Next is, oh, I left one off. There's one by Dimensions, another small one like Cabin View. It's called Dreaming of Tuscany. I keep that in my beach bag because it's really easy to work on the beach because it's very small, and I have it sort of in a like a folio, so it's easy to sit in a beach chair and work on it. It's in my beach bag. My beach bag is upstairs in the closet. We're not going to get that. No progress, really. I mean, I usually don't stitch as much as I think I'm going to stitch when I'm on the beach. I usually just beach. So that's Dreaming of Tuscany, and it's like the rounded window and the bottle of wine, and it looks out on the vineyard. It's really nice. Okay, next is Early Americans, Little House Needleworks. I did this on 14 Count Sandcastle, started it March 29th, 2020. Oh, it was my dad's birthday. Not 2020, March 29th. And I got 2 days on it. And I am currently working on Nathan Hale. Sorry for the glare again. And this is on a scroll rod because I'm doing all 9 patterns. So I have 4. When I finish Nathan Hale, I will then do this center one. And I have them all. And real fast, in case no one's ever seen it, since I do have them here, this would be the next block. It's kind of the center block. And number 6 is Paul Revere. Number 7 is Abigail Adams. Number 8 is Patrick Henry. Number 9 is Molly Pitcher. And then number 1 I have done, Betsy Ross. Number 2, John Hancock, I've done. Number 3, Martha Washington, I have done. And on Vanna Pfeiffer's page is a free border. And I will do the free border. Well, where did it go? It's over here. You can't really see the border. I cannot, if any of you work with these scroll rods, you know how hard it is to get it tight enough. I really don't want to take it apart, but it's like a red, white, and blue border. It's really nice. And she so graciously put it out there for us for free. So I greatly appreciate that. Next, the First Thanksgiving Twin Peak Primitives, one of my favorite designers. I did this on 18 Count Wheat Ada. I started it September 26th of 2022, and I got 8 days on it this year. And I can't, yeah, this is a hard copy, so this is not in Pattern Keeper. And if you recall about, this is a big piece of fabric. If you recall about this one, it made a change. I did not like the red that is in the original. I mean, she changed a lot of it to, they put in a conversion that their model stitcher did, whose name escapes me right now, but you'd all know her if I said it. But I decided to go with DMC. I didn't know how I would like these patterns, so I didn't want to spend the money on all the overdyed. I probably should have. But this was the red for the DMC conversion, and it's fine in the British flag, but I wanted something a little more Americana-like in the American, so I changed the color. And when it comes up in a regular floss tube, I'll go over all those details with you. But because it was in a Q-snap, I could only change what I could see, and I couldn't, so I'll go back and rip out that red and change it, and then going forward, I will use the darker red, and I'm much happier with it, and I honestly think it goes better with the blue that is the DMC conversion. So there's where I've gotten to on that. And I believe I told you, right? 8 days on this one. Okay. Next is, I usually type up my notes and make them nice and big so I don't have to look down so much, but I'm just using my spreadsheet. Alan Malley's Gracious Error Dimensions Kit everything. Started it January 1st, 2021. And I have a page finish. And I believe that I told you in the last regular floss tube that I had a page finish. I did not. We all know how dimensions, they're big charts and they're cut in 4. Well, my printer, in order for me to enlarge it, I had to cut off like the last 8 rows. And then when I was looking at it to make the next page, I'm like, wait, her dress isn't complete yet. Luckily, I caught it. So I really just finished like, I don't know, 10 rows down here. Now this is a page 1 finish. And I love it. And again, backstitch, backstitch, backstitch. I save it all to the end. I know some people do it as they go, but because I have it in a Q-snap, I don't want it pulling. So I'll just save it and just be miserable while I'm backstitching. You might ask yourself, why do I keep picking things that have backstitch? I don't know. I'm an old school stitcher. Backstitch is what we did with everything. Okay. Next, The Haunted Library by Lola Crow. 18 count vintage country mocha. And I started this on October 9th of 2024. And I worked on it for 6 days this year. But it was not part of, this is the first one we've come across that will not have a prior photo. Possibly none of them will have a prior photo. If it gives me too much trouble, I honestly will rather just upload it and you'll just have to imagine how much work I got done in, say, 8 days, whatever. But I love this. This is fun. This is really fun. And I don't do typically a lot of stuff like this, but I saw everyone doing this and, you know, her sales, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get in on this. I didn't do it as a sale. I haven't done any of her sales. I'm not a sale girl. I would definitely fall into the category of a start along instead of a stitch along, and for me, that's just not how I want to do it or use my time. So next, oh, that's interesting. I'm missing one. Go figure. Hoity Toity, Long Dog Samplers. Started at 12/29/21. 18 count Regency by Picture This Plus. I don't know where it is actually. But I don't want to stop to go look for it, and I'm afraid if I pause you, I'm not coming back to you. So let's just keep moving. That is so strange. Very strange. Left Freedom Ring by Leela Studios on 28 count. Picture This Plus Legacy Lugana. I started it September 20th of 2020, and it only got 5 days this year. But that is, that structure, as the crow flies, probably is not 10 miles from my home. Probably way less as the crow flies. And here is where I have gotten to. And if you've been with me, you will remember that I made a counting error. Wait, let me fold this and make this manageable. I made a counting error in this building, in the whatever they call the little cupola of the building, and I made it way up here, and I was way down here when I realized my counting error. So I just made a different kind of correction so that everything would end up evenly, and it has. And this, oh, and this is a page finish. And this is fun, and I would really like to work on it a lot more this year. Just, you know, I had just other smaller projects, like, let me get this done, let me get this done, let me get this done. And 2026 may be the same way. In the beginning of January, mid-January, I'm going to start the Valentine's Tier by Erin Elizabeth, and I'm going to just work on that until it's done. Shouldn't take more than, I'm hoping, 2 weeks. So that just means that 2 weeks I'm not working on anything else. And then I have a USA tier as well, which I would like to get done for obvious reasons. 250th birthday of our country, which I'm very proud to say. Anyway, Little Women, Christmas Morning. Twin Peak Primitives, another favorite from them. Stitched on 18 counts Weigart, Petty Point Gray Ada. Started this March 23rd, 2024. It only got 3 days of work this year. This is, everything's falling. This is on Pattern Keeper. So I'm gonna have the same problem. Repeat, rinse and repeat. But at least the page finish, I could just mark it as a page finish, and then it doesn't look like I got all that much further, so that's okay. But I really enjoy working on this, and I'm really sorry that I haven't gotten the amount of time on it that I feel like it deserves, because it definitely does deserve more time, and maybe this will be the year that it'll get more time. I was very busy with work last year, but I feel like I got a good amount of stitching done anyway. But not enough to compensate for all the other things. And now a lot of times at night, in previous years, we would podcast at night, so we didn't have to turn the TV on or whatever, just to not sit in front of the TV. And this year of 2025 was not so much podcasting. So when we podcast, I sit in my stitching area and just listen to Joey Forget About It, and I just listen to the podcasts, and I stitch, and he, I don't know what he does, plays a game on his phone, I guess. But if I'm sitting in front of the TV, I crochet instead, because it's something that I can look up and down a little more frequently, you know, when you're stitching and you're counting, and you know, I don't have to tell you. Moving on. Okay. Mediterranean flavors. This is a Dimensions kit. I started it May 13th of 2022. It only got 2 days. This is another one that's so close to UFOing, but I'm not going to. Every time I work on it, I'm like, just do it already. So I'm going to. But I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I guess it'll be nice when it's done. And I am not positive, but I would imagine, because it's dimension. Oh, yeah. I was about to say, I don't know if there's any back stitching. Who am I kidding? Look at that. It's all back stitch. A lot of back stitch. So I feel like, you know, I'm past this. So I just gotta hang in there, right? I don't know. I just don't love it, but I'm not a quitter. You know what I mean? Not that UFOing something is quitting. In my messed up brain, it's quitting. It's quitting on something. In the rest of the universe's brain, hopefully it is what it is. It doesn't bring you joy, why stitch on it? But in my mind, I'm like, no, I have to finish it. Stupid. You know, I don't know how many more years I have left, right? So why am I stitching something? I don't know. Discussion for another time. We can do a philosophical discussion on why I feel like that's quitting at a different time. Next, Merry Christmas Quilts. I say this every time I show the picture, by Rosewood Manor. 18 count Zweigart Vintage Smoky White. I started it September 8th of 2020, and it got 10 days this year. Every single time. That's not what I say every single time. Well, it is. But what I really say every single time is this picture is horrible. I saw this hanging in Needleworker's Delight in Metuchen, New Jersey, and I immediately had to have it. And as you can see, it is way brighter than that picture leads you to believe. Although I did change this quilt. I felt like there was a little too much green in it for my liking. And if you're going to do Merry Christmas in a pinky purple, I feel like you not only need green and gold, you also need blue and purple. So I've made the executive decision, as I am the boss of one, me, to add some purples in and some blues. So as it progresses, you'll see that. And I could show you the picture again where I changed it, but it doesn't, you're not going to be able to tell from the photo. It's the worst. And that is not a PDF, so I didn't print that. That is the booklet that I bought in the shop. And, you know, I feel like designers could advocate more for themselves. I understand photography's hard, right? But are we not all mostly buying based on what we're saying? And what happens if it's not hanging in a shop as a model like this one was? I never saw anybody stitching on it. I never saw it. It would never come into my consciousness. I saw that hanging on the wall, and I had to have it. Photography goes a long way. And let me tell you this, too. As a realtor, I swear by that. I pay a professional photographer to photograph all of my listings. I, like everyone else, used to do them myself with my very nice cell phone camera. Years and years. I've been paying someone to do it for years. But I had a listing. I sold this couple this house, and they wanted to move. They had 2 kids and needed a bigger house. And they asked me to list it, and I did. In 6 months, I got 1 showing. Was it priced? No, I priced it right. Could not figure it out. It expired. They listed it with someone else. He listed it at the exact same price. They did nothing different. He paid a professional photographer. Probably within a couple of, say 6 weeks, it was sold at the price that I listed it at. Lesson learned, stay in your lane and let the pros do the pro work. And I have never photographed one of my own listings again. I don't charge my sellers, I don't charge my clients to pay the photographer. I pay it because it gets the house, it shows up better. Where's everybody looking at houses? On the internet, of course. So it shows better on the internet, and ultimately I get paid when that house gets sold, so it's worth paying the photographer. Okay, done talking about photographers, but you see what I mean. If I feel that way about listing a house, I feel like a designer that puts so much effort into their designs and then takes a picture that is even they must know that it's really not showing the project in its best light, figuratively and literally, and yet allow that to go on all of the booklets. Come on, you know, you got to show it like it is. And it's not going to be the same as seeing it in person, but at least it catches someone's interest. I can't tell you how many people, specifically with this Merry Christmas quilt, have said, I also never would have bought that. And now I see you doing it, and it's so bright and vibrant. And it is, and shiny. There's like shiny gold Kreinik in it. I mean, anyway, moving on. I swore I wasn't going to get off topic, and I did. Okay, so another one I don't have here because I don't know why, is Mill Hill Tree Farm. It's on perforated paper. I don't know when I started it, and I don't know how many days it got this year because I forgot to bring it out, because it sits in a little, like one of those knitter keeper things, and it wasn't in one of my baskets, and it should be, and it wasn't. So I already have two. I have the bookseller, and they're right over here. I have the needleworker shop and the bookseller. And Joey Forget About It bought me another, so I'll show that next month in my regular floss tube. And they're fun. You know, that one doesn't have backstitch, but it has beading. So, you know, horse of a different color, but still a horse. Next is a new Constellation by Plum Street. I love these. I just love these. 28 count Legacy Lugana by Picture This Plus. I started this March 21st of 2021, and it only got 4 days this year. I don't know why it only got, honestly, I don't know why. But I did get a page finish. And all that blue, somebody needed to tell me that that was all fill-in. That was all 1/1. Or all over 1. Whether you do 1/1 or 2/1, but it's all over 1. That's a lot of little squares to fill in. Am I right? Didn't know it. Didn't realize it when I looked at the pattern. I knew it wasn't on blue fabric. I don't know what I thought that was. But this is fun, and I love it. And I'm going to try this year to, you know, because I keep calendars, right? So 2025 is stapled to the front of 2024, stapled to the 2023. For each project, I keep a calendar. And the days I work on it, I circle. And you could see sort of like the pattern, right? Like every time I restart my Tiny Decisions wheel, it will come up once during that wheel, that time of that wheel, and then when I reset, it has the possibility to come up again. So in theory, every project gets 2 to 3 touches a year. I think I just finished filling that in and said, page finish, good, done. But I'm going to pay attention to those that got less work in 2025 and maybe give them a little more love in 2026, just to inch everything closer to the finish line. Next, Ornaments All Around, Glendon Place. I stitched this on 18 count Picture This Plus Heritage. I started it April 10th, 2022, and it got 5 days of work. And I am always confused about which way, there we go. Because, you know, it's round. So I confused myself when I started the next page. I was like, that's not lining up. It's a little confusing to me, and I'm sure it's just me. Another very bright, very vibrant, really fantastic design by Glendon Place. I love the colors in it. I think they're fantastic. Okay, next, Pageant Kings. Out of the Treasures in Needlework, let's see if I can find a date. Um, 300 billion years ago. I don't know. It's the Treasures in Needlework Premiere Issue Edition. I literally can't find a date on this. Let's just go with the 90s. 92, 93. I have had this forever, and I love this until I started working on it. So I stitched this on 16 count Mystic by Picture This Plus. Started at 10/5/22, and I stitched 3 days on it. Sorry, I dropped a needle. I do not. Little dog killer does not need to step on a needle. And this is as far as I've got. So this purple were all these long, I guess you would call them like a satin stitch maybe. Ugh, it was a disaster. I pulled it all out and I just made little X's. So now I feel like I could probably make some progress now that I know. See, they really are just little X's now. But they weren't. They were like whatever that long, like a long stitch is. And it had to create this same kind of square. I mean, I've been stitching a very long time, and I was on the struggle bus with this. I really was. I just could not, I just couldn't get it figured out. I just couldn't. So, ripped it all out, which didn't take so long, right? Because there are these long stitches that cover blocks and blocks and blocks. So it didn't take so long, so it made it worth it. All right, next, we all know this one. Pandemic, Long Dog Samplers. This one is going to be a lifelong project. I don't know when I started it. I don't know why I didn't keep notes. I don't know. I can tell you that I started it in 2020. Came out as a freebie in 2020, and I started it. It got 10 days this year. It seems like I should be further along, no? And I added colors. I'm using Sulky Threads Holiday, which is what this border is doing. But then, you know, I'm doing like the squirrels in brown and the birds are in DMC matching purple. And I ripped this out twice because I used a different DMC and then I didn't like the way it matched. And this all has to be, it's only crossed over one, you know, it's one stitch I have to cross over, but I kind of wanted to get, I got the little chili pepper done. This one gave me a fright because of shading. They shade both sides of their pages, so if you don't stitch it on the end of the right side of page 1, and then you go to page 2, and on the left side it's shaded again, and you say, oh, I don't have to do that because that's shaded. Well, you also didn't do it on page 1, and now you're 3 columns short. Luckily, I caught that really early. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I did, and it made it okay. And now I have, like, Post-it note stickers everywhere on this project saying, watch your shading, watch your shading. So I don't really think I'd make that mistake again. I don't think I would forget, but just in case I do forget. Okay. Patriotic Christmas Eve by, you guessed it, Twin Peak Primitives. Stitched on 20 count vintage country mocha. I used DMC with this. I started it March 13th, 2024. It got 6 days this year. It's very cute. It's very fun. It's on Pattern Keeper. We all know the problem I'm having. But when they come up, I'm just going to deal with my problem. I'm not going to drag this out. You know, I need to get it corrected. I have a brand new tablet. Ironically, nothing has come up yet. But I want to use this tablet and I want to use Pattern Keeper for the things that I can use Pattern Keeper for. So I just need to buckle down and take the time, and maybe that's part of the first time it comes up on my wheel. That first couple of days may just have to be getting it right in the new on the new tablet in Pattern Keeper, instead of continuing to try to export progress on a tablet that I needed to buy a new tablet because it wasn't working, and now I'm expecting it to work so I can export my progress. The definition of insanity, my friends. Okay, next is Route 66 Christmas Diner by DesignWorks. Love this design. 16 count, picture this plus Sprite. I did not use the kit fabric. I started at 10/13/2020, and it got 12 days this year. This is fun, other than the fact that she puts the beads or the French knots or whatever it's supposed to be right over top of the symbols, which I don't love. So sometimes you gotta guess. But it's coming out great. I love it. It's really not as big as I thought it was. So we are moving along on that one. It won't be a finish in 2026, but still, it's moving along, and it's making me feel better about it. Okay, we're skipping around a little. Next is Seashell Wreath by Cooler Design Studios. I made some color changes in this. I didn't like the baby blue of this. A lot of baby blues. 18 count. It's stitched on 18 count earthen by Picture This Plus. I started it March 19th, 2024. It got 15 days this year, which you're going to laugh when you say it. You're going to say, where the heck are your 15 days? So obviously I have a page finish, and I'm on another page. And this is fun. It's another really fun one. I really enjoy it. All right, skipping around. Stitch Every Day, hands-on design. I am stitching it on 20 count light orange rust Lugana. Started at 10/4/2022, and it got 7 days this year. And we are getting real close to a finish. And these were those long stitches again. I just made them X's. I know it takes longer that way, but it's fine. I love this. This is adorable. And this will hang in my office when it's done, so I can look at it every day. And all my baskets that hold my cross stitch, my works in progress, sit also in my office, because this way they don't get in anyone else's way. I'm the only one that uses the office. That's fine. Although I could use 12 more baskets, but whatever. I just keep jamming them in there. Summer Sampler, Cooler Design Studios. I love these. Love, love, love them. Oh boy, Joey, forget about it's on his way home. Yikes. We gotta get this done. This is stitched on 16 count chamois. I started it September of 2019. It got a whopping 2 days this year. I think I got a page finish. Let me see. No. Not yet. Almost. And this one is going to be a back stitching beast. But I've seen a lot of people do this, and many back stitches they go, and it's really, you can really get a sense of how pretty it actually is, because, I mean, you know, when that back stitching is in there, it makes everything pop. All right, we're on to the T's. We're going to backtrack to the S's. I am sorry. I have a pile sitting on the chair over there that somehow, I don't know, a little disorganized, but we're getting her done. Tulip Easter Egg by Artisy. Tarina Clark. This is an AI design, which I didn't even realize until just a second. This is stitched on 20 count Ivory Ada. I started it February 19th of 2025, and it got 6 days. Let's see. Beautiful colors in this. And I am not a spring stitcher, I'm just not. But I feel like I need to offset my autumn Christmas obsession with some other stuff, and this one just really spoke to me. I love that. But long way to go. But that's okay, right? I didn't start it that long ago, so okay. Now, please amuse yourselves looking at a treasure time while I go grab this last pile. Okay. Sorry if I made you dizzy, crossing quickly. Okay. This came out of just cross stitch. December 2021. This is the Quaker Christmas sampler, and it came out in pieces all through the year. This was also another one that I almost gave up. Nancy Waller is the designer. Almost quit on this one kind of early on. Just wasn't feeling it. Definitely had a change of heart. It is stitched on 16 count Sage Summer Khaki. I started it February 18th, 2021. 7 days this year. 7 days last year as well. So how ironic is that? And so close. It came out in 6 parts. Not every part is a full page, so I really am getting close. And I think I need to kind of focus on this. I have so many that are getting so close that I would just feel so good about moving on to like new starts and whatever if I could just get a few out of the way. And I think that's going to be my focus. 2025 did not start this way, but ended up being the year of, if I'm close, let me focus on it and see how far I can get, like Autumn in the Village. I'm getting that girl done. I will do the back stitching in the next round, but I'm getting it stitched before I move on to something else, because why continue to drag it out when you're so close? Okay, moving on. Next is Sunflower Inn by Artisy, adapted from artwork by Thomas Wood. I clearly must like Thomas Wood without even realizing that. It is stitched on 18 count Platinum's Weigart Ada. I started this just this past November the 12th. I have had this on my wish list forever. And it got, I didn't write it down, but I think it got 5 days. 5 or 6. Like I know when I wrote it down, I don't know where I wrote it down because I clearly didn't write it on my list, but I wrote it down somewhere, and it got more days than I thought it was going to get. Now, here's the problem. Oh. I don't think that's right. Here's where I am. Except I don't really know where I am. Clearly I color completed. That must be the end of the first page. But I don't really understand where I am. In the sky, somewhere. I'm always in the trees or the sky forever. One of these days I'm going to start some of this stuff as center starts, because you get kind of tired of only doing sky on one project, and then you go to the next project and it's all trees. Like, give me some people, give me some houses. But that's where I am. And that was about 5 days of stitching, which is also weird. Okay, back up to Santas of Fable and Fantasy. So, I mean, you can just tell. This is Cross Stitch and Country Crafts, November, December, 1991. Across 2 pages. Seriously? Like, literally. The design itself is across 2 pages. But I guess, otherwise, they probably would have had to do that. So, I guess it makes sense. This one is fun. A lot of work, a lot of back stitch. This one I am back stitching as I go. And this is where I am. Let me see, how much time did it get? It's on 14 count vintage country mocha. Again, I wouldn't do 14 count now, but when I started this, I did. July 20th of 2019, it got 1 day this year. 1. And that's where we are. So those first 2 Santas are backstitched. Santa 3 is not. Okay. Next, Scenic Farm by Dimensions, Kit Everything. I started this April 18th, 2020, and it got 9 days this year. I love this. Every time I see a floss tuber show it, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And this is without backstitch. Imagine once it's backstitched. I literally am going to spend years of my life backstitching. Okay. Glendon Place, Sleepy Hollow. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Sleepy Hollow. Stitched on 14 count, Haunted by Picture This Plus. Again, started it in 2019. December 18th, 2019. It got 11 days this year. Ooh, I'm getting inching ever closer. This was fun. I'm not done him yet, but, you know, the head, it was pretty fun. So much moon. Is there a bigger moon in any design in cross stitch right now? Like, I can't think of any pattern where the moon is bigger than that moon is. And it's, I think it's Karen Water Lilies, if I'm not mistaken. So it's fun and it's beautiful, but, oy. 'Twas the Night, Cooler Design Studios. This came out of a magazine, November 2006. And let's see, how many days? It's on 18 count vintage country mocha, started at 12/28 of 2020. It got 2 days this year. Again, focused on other things. But I believe that's the end. It's not big at all. It looks like it should be much bigger. And the summer sampler, the Cooler Design does, and the autumn sampler, all of those are much, much bigger. This is the teeny weeny, which is fine. Okay, next is Cooler Designs again. Wine and Cheese. This is not a stitched photo, a photo of a stitched, of this design stitch. This is generated, and I mean, come on. And I stitched this on 18 count Heartland, and I started at 2/22/22, and it got 2 days this year. And I think I told you I changed all of the colors. If you've been with me, you know I changed colors. And there went another needle. These are the colors in my kitchen. This cranberry and olive green. I'm just really, honestly, not about the lemon lime look. Just not going to do that. And I am leaving for right now this negative space because I am using a nice fabric. If I feel like it looks like it's missing something, I'll fill it in with a fabric. But for now, we're gonna leave it negative space until I can't anymore. Okay, another wine. Wine and Cheese and Grapes, or Wine, Grapes, and Cheese. What is it called? Wine, Cheese, and Grapes, by Artisy. Stitched on, I'm literally sending a pile flying. It is stitched on 18 count vintage country mocha, started 7/14/2020. It got 6 days this year. And this is also on Pattern Keeper. This one's going to be a beast to get caught up with because you could clearly see I mean, this page isn't finished, I don't think. Or I can't remember, honestly, to be honest with you. I can't remember. But it's going to be hard to get it caught up. But I love it, and I'm determined to finish it. Brings us to, hold please. Brings us to another one I almost UFO'd, When Cardinals Appear. And I'm doing this one. This one is stitched on, it's by Blackberry Lane, stitched on 28 count dwarf Lugana by Picture This Plus. Started at 3/28/21, and it got 3 days. It calls for a lot of, they weren't French knots up here. Oh yeah, I think they were. The snowflakes were French knots. Took them out, almost gave up, but now I got the cardinal done. So I think I'm going to do some beading or whatever. I love, love, love this fabric. I originally picked the sparkly version of this, and my eyes just don't see it right. You know, it would have looked lovely, but it just makes me stitch so much slower. Okay, and we are at the very last one, and we are an hour and 11 minutes in. Winter's Hush by Dimensions, Kit, everything. Started this May 12th, 2020, and it got 5 days this year. Let me move the, there we go. The needle minder was smack in the middle. Here we go. I know. It's taped. It's yeah, it's a mess. Wrinkly. But kind of like still in the trees, still in the sky. And that's the problem. Like, I love the Dimensions Christmas kits. And Joey Forget About It got me another one that I'll show during our my next regular floss tube in haul. I love them, but let's just pause for a moment and look at all the snow and the bluish, dark, wintry night sky. It's a lot. And the Christmas, I mean, that's what makes them great, right? Like, I mean, look at A Treasure of Time, you know, that sky almost killed me. And then you get past that, you do the fun stuff, the houses and the people and all of that. And then what do you have? Snow. Snow. And not all of it's white, but it's gray white and blue white. And, you know, it's a lot, but that's Dimensions, and that's what makes them, you know, extraordinary, in my opinion. They paint a picture for sure. And anytime someone comes in during the holidays, this one always stops them. Of all the things I've done and all the things I have hanging, this one stops them. Okay, so that's it for the WIP parade, but I want to show you the snow globe from the Jingle Ball. So if you joined the Jingle Ball Liz Matthews Snow Globe class, she gave you, I think, 20 or 21 designs, and they were categorized: large, medium, small. And she basically said, pick a small, pick a medium, pick a large. That's going to be your picture, and we're going to put them into this snow globe. So here's what I picked, and this is how it came out. Oh boy. I'm making it worse, not better. There we go. I'll have to just do it that way. So the tree was the large, the house was the medium, Joy was the small. It's got snow in it. It's a wide mouth jar. I just put I cut a little garland off of garland I had sitting around. Put some ribbon. I mean, honestly, if I can do this, this was another one that people were like, did you make that? And because there are 21 options, there are endless possibilities, right? Like, I could do a different tree, a different house, a different word. I could do, you know, a big tree, a little house, and a medium whatever. You know, there were reindeer, there were rabbits, there were Christmas presents, you know. And And the only thing that she recommended, and I'm so glad I did, was I pre-stitched. So by the time the class started, the class wasn't about the stitching, the class was about the finishing. And I was able to follow along and pretty much get it finished with her. And I plan to have more of these done. I'll give it to each. I'll give one to each kid, and everybody's will look unique. And also, you could use it for anything, right? Like, so say you see a little ornament in the Christmas ornament edition of just cross stitch, or anywhere, or you take a motif out of something else, you can stitch it. Doesn't have to be one of these designs, but you finish it the same way with the fabric and the wooden stick on the back. And see, this is the way it's finished on the back. And I just put some washi tape. I couldn't find any Christmas washi tape. I was too late. But you just covered the stick with some washi tape. But you could, I mean, it really, literally is endless. And it probably took me, I want to say, a week to stitch all three of these. Of course, I picked the most elaborate tree, the medium-sized house. Like, I didn't need to get all that crazy. But, you know, you could also do it with a smaller, fatter jar. As long as it's wide mouth, that's really all that matters. So I just wanted to show you that because it will be put away and you will not get to see it. I don't think Joey Forget About It would be willing to bring down all of the boxes so I could find that so that I could show you in January. I feel like that is going to be a hard no. So that is it for my WIP read. Little disorganized, little disheveled, a lot of looking down to read my notes because I didn't want to type them all out separately. Missed one or two, hoity-toity, and Mill Hill Tree Farm, and then Dreaming of Tuscany, which is in a beach bag, which is now put away for the season. So altogether, there should be 43. If I counted right, you can check me. Probably don't. And I will be back for a regular floss tube, probably closer to the end of January. Give me time. I'll go over my December, what I worked on in December. I will go over any haul. If I started anything, which by then I should have started the Valentine's Tier by Erin Elizabeth, and we can talk, and I won't have this crazy mess surrounding me. So Happy New Year, everybody. I wish you peace, joy, prosperity, health for 2026, and that we in this crazy upside down world are kind to each other and give each other a little bit of grace. So talk to you soon. Thanks for hanging. Bye.